I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Kind of a dad shirt happening.
it's got a collar. You know, it's got the
I actually, what's funny is it's kind of hot today, right out here in South Carolina.
South
Very
Carolina
warm.
gets hot.
So I ended up putting this dad shirt on, and about a couple of minutes ago, I looked in the mirror. I was like, "Oh, you're wearing like a dad. Like, is this really the shirt? Like, you should put on a hoodie or something, right? Or
Maybe.
something there." Because I was like, "This isn't what It's
You can't rob a liquor store in that shirt.
Well, you could because they wouldn't see you coming.
Yeah, they wouldn't see
They'd
it
be like,
coming.
"Oh, this." I'd like, "I'd like your finest." This is another episode of Unnecessary Talking. I am that Brian Sturges. What is that?
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes.
What is it? It's Unnecessary Talking with Brian Sturges. I am that Brian Sturges. Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
I did it
That's
right.
what you said. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Mr. Brian Sturges, and Tim Hole Music, and Cliff Beach Music, and Black Cliff Beach.
That's it, yeah.
And Unnecessary Talk at Poor Life Choices and Poor Life Choices
TV,
Poor
yeah.
Talk. We're back, baby. We're back. Here we are. Friday the 13th. Camp experience. So listen, we got some exciting. We actually have a guest today too, which I will send you the thing. Yeah, we're still. Well,
All right.
why not?
I like
it. Is he waiting for us?
Yeah. Should I?
All right, let him in.
He's in.
He's in. I don't want to keep him waiting. You don't let Cliff Beach Music wait.
No.
He's a man. He's got time. He's got things to do. He has gout. He's a grown ass man.
Yes, gout.
Is he? Did he leave?
Yeah, he pulled another one just like last time.
Do you see what's happening here? Do you see why this Zoom production 2023, even more Zoom podcast.
We got to get him on his computer. He's got
what
a
we got to
computer,
do
right?
is we got to send him a device. We must just gift him a device,
Like a Kindle Fire.
Well, that's funny you say that because a nice Amazon Kindle Fire there is under
Will do the
100
trick.
bones, and you can Zoom. You can do everything except for show your friends because you'd be embarrassed because it's all about.
It's like having that Zune MP3 player.
It's like when I wore Fila.
Terrible. No, Fila. It's better than football.
He comes right in.
I'd like to acknowledge that we're all at different heights in the frame. Now, again, this is called Poor Life Choices Productions. As we begin, I'd like to call out our boy Tim. I'd just like to get right into it. One, let's get you framed up properly. And two, last week you look like Nosferatu because you don't bust out the gosh darn ring light. Yeah, you got it now. Did you see yourself last week? It looked like you were dead. It looked like you were an extra in The Walking Dead or any other zombie movie. Now, you were gifted a beautiful ring light from Amazon. And you're like, nah. So, if we're going to do this on Zoom and Twitter... If we're going to do this, that actually looks kind of cool. If we're going to do this in Zoom in 2024, we got to get the rest of the production. I love that both of you are also using the Zoom iOS green screen background because nobody wants to set up a green screen.
I used to, but it's such a pain. I need one of those ones that you could pull up from the...
Yes.
Yeah,
As we all know, I bought a thing on Amazon. I bought a green screen on Amazon, one of the ones that pull up from the bottom to make life easier versus hanging from the ceiling that I used to. Well, I ordered it, and it wasn't wide enough to get in the frame, right? So I sent it
cover
back.
you. I got it.
So, yeah, I get you because right. So I order, so I go, and I found a place in California that's like a liquidator of the thing. So I buy the thing. Right? So then I find the wide one at a good price. I buy it. They ship it to me. The sons of bitches sent me back the small one, but charged me for the big one. I'm like, did they sent me the thing that I bought and returned, and it was quite possibly what I returned to them. They're like, this guy wants the wide one. We're sending it. And then I had to do the credit card thing, and then blah, blah, blah. To my knowledge, I ended up getting it for free because they didn't respond for 30 days of all I want is the one I ordered. I don't, no problem.
All, it's so simple. Yeah.
But the wait to ship it back, they're out. They're just like, just let it go. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Great story. Great story. Great story. Everyone loves it. Moving along. It's Friday the 13th. Now, I know that Cliff also didn't celebrate Friday the 13th. Or if he didn't do Halloween.
Being black is scary enough. We don't need it next week.
So, do you have any spooky dooky stories? Now, as you know, I once saw a ghost with my friend N King. Okay, and I've told the story before, right?
No.
No one watches. Oh, well, I guess so. I'll make this the short version.
Yeah.
My buddy Ed King from back home, you know, when you're like 12 or 13, you start the male sleepovers. You know what I mean? You're growing up. You're going to go spend a Saturday night when his parents are out of town, and you go to the VHS store and you get pizza and you ride your bike and I don't know. You're looking for trouble. You're kicking cans, right? So his parents were out of town, and I was spending there at his place. He was in the bed above me. I was on the floor, and his bed, and we were both facing the bedroom door, and his door was open. So we're in the bottom of a 2-family house that they lived in. And while we were there, we were talking and blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, I know this will sound like a fool, I saw a ghost. Now, I don't believe in ghosts, but I saw one. I saw a man walk, not unlike Sasquatch, but without the big thing. He walked, saw that we were there, and then kept going. Now, he saw it too.
Dang.
Okay? He saw it also, and we both freaked out. Like, what, did you just see the guy? He's like, I saw the guy, and we freaked out. Now, we're 12 or 13 alone, right? You think you're a tough guy, but we're like, find a flashlight.
Where's my dad?
We freaked out, and we eventually like got a bat and a flashlight and went out. There's no one there. But we both saw it happen. As though, could it have been a burglar? Was it the upstairs neighbor who knew they were gone and they snuck in? Like, what is the real story? But that's not. He and I both saw it, and I spoke to that man 20 years later, and I brought it up to him, and he remembered also. So I saw a ghost, or at least a very nimble man who was able to make it out. Because then they had one of those basements that had all the locks.
Oh, yeah.
So then we did that, was like from a movie. We opened it up, and there was no trace.
Jeez.
So we saw an apparition together, or maybe a sexual predator or something. But we both saw him. So I saw a ghost. So do either of you, apologies if you've heard the story before, do you have any spookies? Friday the 13th, even though this is coming out Tuesday, whatever. But do you have any spooky stories that have happened to you like that in your life?
I've never seen a ghost. I hate to admit it.
Well, I think most people haven't seen a ghost. I think me telling this story makes me look crazy. But I saw. We both saw it. So you never had any. You never had any sort of spooky thing, or, like you. I don't know. You drew a picture and then it erased, like in an old castle or some sort of,
I can't.
Dorian
The
Gray
scariest thing I've had was I was out hiking around in the woods near my house, and I heard this like very loud and menacing growl, and I never saw what it was, but all it took was the growl. It sounded like it was like a 300-pound bear or something, and I was just like,
well, it could have been, because
I guess it could have been.
You are in bear country.
Yeah, that's true, but I never saw it. It was it had me running.
Yeah. So it could have been a bear ghost.
It could have been a bear ghost. Yeah, this is actually a very strong possibility.
Cliff Beach, you ever have anything scary other than every day of your life?
Yeah, aforementioned. Yeah,
pretty much. I haven't that I can remember, but my great grandmother was a witch, and she read palms for a living. And she read poems for a very famous family. Just to give a bigger backstory, everyone thinks that Black people in America were just poor. My family somehow a decade after slavery were millionaires, Black millionaires in like the 20s and 30s. Before that was a thing where they didn't believe in banks. All their money was shoved into the walls. You had to sledgehammer it to get it out when they died. And so what happened, this grandma who had married at 13 to a guy who was 30, she inherited a bunch of money and she read palms when she wasn't in church. So she had a plaque that said like 30 years in the church, and she also was a witch. The duality exists. So when she died, and so this was the thing. When my mom was growing up, my mom got bit by a dog. She was like, grandma will take care of it. And then the dog died. They don't know how it happened. It's mysterious death, right? Like the next day.
Know how the dog died.
Yeah. And so, so beyond that, her son, my great grandfather, like he also studied witchcraft as well. And they had this crazy candle that looked like, I don't know, 1,000 candles melted together into like one gigantic thing. And it was said that she could walk by it and it could just light, like just spontaneously light. Like she had that gift. So when she died when I was 1, before I started walking and talking. I think my mom left for the funeral. She came back and I was standing up and talking back. So when
she,
yeah. Yeah. Except I hope you brought the tea because I'm out.
I do.
So anyway, my great great grandma died in 1983, and she was part of this group. It was like a female version of the Masons called the Easter Seals. So these women that are all witches showed up to the funeral, and they were like, "We need privacy," and they like shut the doors. And apparently, they tried to resurrect my great grandma.
This is a Ronald Dahl book, right? This is what your life is.
Exactly.
They tried to resurrect her.
Yeah, they tried to resurrect her at the funeral unsuccessfully.
Oh, did it work? Yeah,
that was going to be my next question.
But anyway,
yeah.
So later, that son, my great grandfather, when he turned, I don't know, 70, he kicks my great grandma out at 65 and gets his mistress. Ends up having my great uncle in his 70s, that's 2 years younger than me, and so he anyway. So then the mistress has cancer and dies when I was a kid. And my great nephew or whatever, or great uncle, that's 2 years younger than me, he was like, I see my mom's ghost in the house and she talks to me like all the time. I didn't see it, but like I was with him and he was talking to somebody, but I didn't see the ghost itself, but I believed he saw what he saw. This
is hearsay. It's a hearsay ghost.
I mean, it could have just been psychologically grief or whatever, but it was scary for sure. I mean, she was Large Marge. That's what we called her.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you believe in ghosts? I know you're a God-fearing man, but do you believe that there are ghosts, are angels, or...
Yeah, all that. And anal probing aliens, they all exist.
Well, why? If you're going to get probed,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, the anus is the third brain. We can say that scientifically now.
Yeah,
yeah, that's where all the gold is.
Yeah. Exactly. I do most of my thinking out of my ass. So,
yeah.
As poor Tim Hall has to hear about whatever stupid idea I have in the moment, I'm like, you know what we should do? We should do all this shit. That'll never happen, and I'll lose all my money if it does. It's a little game we're playing.
Yeah, but Christianity believes in ghosts. I don't know if people think that's not true.
I didn't know that. I didn't
know that either.
It starts with the Holy Ghost, and then it just goes down from there.
You know, this is why they kicked me out. They're like, dude, you don't know the basics.
Fundamental. Yeah.
Well, it's like the proposition is clear. They're like, okay, there's a man named Jesus. He's going to come inside you. He's going to fill you with his goodness. You're like, okay. I can get with that.
That's the phrasing, huh? Yeah.
That's basically, that's the prop. It's like, you don't know him, but he knows you. Sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake. Let him come inside you, fill you with his goodness, and then you'll be good.
And there's always the second coming, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what makes it special.
That's what we're waiting for.
Listen, we have a guest. Why? I don't know. Why not? Well, let's get some guests. We haven't had them because I don't want to bother people. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm bothering people by inviting them, quite frankly. But, you might be, whatever. Yeah. So listen, we have a technical project manager, engineer, actor, certified funny man, and fan. Seth Daniel Lawson Goldman.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
That is.
Hello there.
There he is. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Good morning. Your hair looks
Top
like
of the
you
morning.
have your hair is an insult to my hair. Your hair
but
is.
you look at you. You rock that. You rock.
I'm
the
a
bald
character
head.
actor.
He's
You
got
understand me?
eyebrows.
I'm a character actor. I'm supposed to be slightly deformed.
We all have our deformities, right?
So, I know we're meeting people for the first time. Seth, this is Tim on the top with the funky background. He's the producer engineer. He's the man who has the fart sounds. And we have Cliff Beach, who is a permanent guest and I guess official co-host and a fantastic musician. So please check him out.
Yeah.
For Black. Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you guys. I was going to ask, permanent guest. It's like there's that border right there. It's like, do you just stay a permanent guest forever and kind of kick back and relax, or do you take on some duties of co-hosting and you're like,
okay, so obviously you haven't
limbo.
met Cliff, so you're new to this show. I have known this man since he was 16. Let me tell you what, the best way to maximize Cliff and his talent is to just do all the work and have him show up, and then he does it, and then he goes has a sandwich. And then he looks great, and he's like, "That's all I'll do." Now, let's be honest. At one point in his career, he was annoyed by having to carry around a microphone. He was annoyed that he'd have to have this in his car, right? Like he's like, "I don't bring a microphone.
only that one?
I don't bring a microphone."
What about like?
Oh yeah, there we go. The old
I don't
Yeti.
do it. To this day, he doesn't even know where Guitar Center is. You should Cliff's a beach rider for forgetting the whores, the coke, the whores. It's all like
Puts it in twice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, yeah,
I like him twice as much.
yeah. I mean, if it's something that's important to you, you got to get it in the rider just to make sure that because they're gonna read it, but you want to make sure that they get it right.
Like the Allman Brothers, they had the coke. They were like, this is the amount of coke. And there's a few bands that have that same kind of folklore story that is like in the rider. We need this. I mean, it was
Green
the
M&Ms.
60s. I mean, that was, man,
Ozzy.
music, 60s and 70s. You could just do drugs and wear whatever you wanted. And now everybody has a wet ass pussy. Why is it wet? Why must we bring janitorial supplies into a woman's vagina?
I mean, they're already there.
They're already there. Oh, so
They're not
The
themselves.
mystery.
So look, this is not a real show. This is guys on Zoom who record it and put it out so that we may practice. So you can tell by the numbers. So basically, you're an actor and you specialize in or prefer comedic acting, or it's just also you like to do that on the side. Is this your gig or what's your deal?
What's my gig? What's my story?
Well, I know you're an actor. You're a fantastic dramatic actor, but you
You've
also
seen
do
me.
comedy acting. And I was just wondering if you have a preference or if you're music. See that? That was like a real interview question.
Yeah, I'd say I like opportunity. I like all of it, but just what I've seen.
I like
from,
opportunity. What the hell does that? I like
know,
chance.
I like money. I like bitches. I like it. I like it when you
opportunity
bring a
to prove
microphone.
myself. I'm here to give you generic answers. No real depth right now. From what I've seen from people that I'm fans of, I feel like
This reminds me of when Charlie Rose did that in the middle of the.
Sorry, we do plugs mid.
Let me drink my Fat Tuesday drink.
Oh, well, every day this show gets released. It's
Oh.
fantastic.
Oh, even better. Unintentional.
So so comedy, you love it, you want it.
Yeah. I mean, I like making people laugh in general. I feel like I'm the type of person where I'm like situationally funny, but I also can translate that to. I've gotten better about it's like if you ask me to tell you a joke, I'd be like, I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
same. I don't know any jokes.
But like, let me just be funny and spitball, and I'm all about it. So from what I've seen from like people that I'm fans of, like Bradley Cooper and Ken Jeong and
yeah,
Charlie
I can see
Day.
that,
Yeah,
Oh,
just
Charlie
like a
Day's
lot
great,
of
yeah.
like comedic actors. If you're funny, or even in fucking Adam Sandler, and like if you can be funny,
to do both.
you can do the dramatic part. And so I would fucking love to be.
Do you think it's harder to be a comedic actor or a dramatic actor?
Comedic actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's harder. Like,
Cliff, what do you think?
Yeah, comedy is all about the timing. Not everybody has that gift. I mean, you could train and get better at it, but some people really have that as a strength.
Yeah, it's like singing. We talked about that. I can't sing, and you could give me all the lessons in the world you want, but I can never do what Cliff does. It's impossible. So some people have it, some people don't.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the conversation we had about like C&D students running the world. It's like if you just have a certain set of skills and knowledge and like how to handle yourself, like you've got it.
Right.
Not everyone has that. You can learn, you can take in all the knowledge possible, but that'll only get you so far.
And this is a very Goodwill Hunting situation, but I feel like all of this information is available for free online for most of the stuff. And I started looking at an MBA, and I was like, why am I going to get an MBA when all the information is just on YouTube for free? And for a quarter of that, I could start my own business. Like another, and this is, of course, smash cut to bankruptcy. But
unless you like spending money.
There. Yeah.
But unless you like student debt and spending money. So.
And plus I have Cliff Beach, who is, I don't know, am I allowed to drop that? He's very smart. Yeah. He also has his MBA. He's one of these guys you're like, oh, I also.
But I do push people to not take that and to think of a different option. I mean, there's just different options now since when I got it in 2010.
Are they
forgiving? There's other options now.
Are they doing that? Are they forgiving?
It's undecided. So right now everything is just paused in that space. But
they're not giving. I mean, why would they give the money away? The whole country is about taking money, not giving it back.
But you're right though. I mean, when you think of those types of schools, the degree itself doesn't really do much. I mean, it means something to somebody else, which is helpful sometimes, but like it's not like you go to the business school and your business is set up like by the time you're out. It's not set up to do that. Same thing
with film school. Why I made a movie instead of going to film school. It's 75-80% less, and I'm making money back, 12 cents a month or whatever.
Yeah, it adds up in a couple of million years.
Oh my God.
Education is too much. What's the matter?
You gotta live forever.
Just I joined the acting subreddit just for shits and giggles, and someone posted, they're like, I got in the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I have two things over my desk area. There's the my intern engineer certification from when I used to be a mechanical engineer.
Oh wow!
Forever engineering training, and then my acceptance letter to the the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And I'm like, cool, I did it. I got in. And
did
then no. I got a $5,000 scholarship. And I was like, cool, how much is it for 1 year? $35,000. And so on the subreddit, the person posted, and everyone commenting was just like, good for you. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Find other ways to do it. Do workshops.
Education. Now, I spent over 20 years. I have a little bit of booze here, as a teacher and whatnot. And let me tell you what, for example, Cliff and I went to Berkeley College of Music, and we both love the place, but it's clearly a real estate investment trust. Like it stopped being a college of music, I don't know, in the 80s or something, where every 2 or 3 years they're buying a $50 million building, which is great. But what we hear from it is that the teachers aren't getting any, the teachers are still struggling to make money, but they own hundreds of millions of dollars worth of prime Boston property that they're getting tax-free and paid for by parents so that your kid can, whatever. That's Miles Davis. He went to Juilliard. He said, fuck this noise. Yeah. And he dropped out. And let's be honest, if he sat there and practiced scales 8 hours a day when he got out, he'd be Charlie Parker. I don't know. But
so he'd also be famous.
Money, yeah. It's hard out there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like I just to go back a little bit into my history. It's like I went to college for engineering, mechanical engineering, and then after I graduated, like 4 years later, I switched careers and went to a coding boot camp, and I dropped like 13, 14 grand on that. And even with that, people are like, oh, I'm thinking about learning coding. I'm like, cool. One of my buddies did a coding boot camp through UCLA for $5,000 and got like way more of an education than I did for, more than half the price. I'm just like, yeah, if you're going to do it, go through a college. Don't go through any of these places. If you really want to do it and don't want to spend the money, it's all
private.
online.
Berkeley's private. All of the ones that own real estate are private. I mean, UCLA's, their prices are expensive, but kind of the best value. I think. Like if you compare what UCLA is offering for the money, you're like, oh, that's $4,000 for that project. But when you start doing a master's at a college or something, and it's 65, 80 grand, you're like, oh, okay, I'll pay the $4,000 just to go to UCLA. So it depends where you are financially. Obviously, you might just, if you can't afford that, that's a lot. But if you can afford a 2-year degree on something, Same thing with UCLA, because I took the, what was it? It was the TV pilot class, and I got into
Is this the extension thing?
Yes. No. Yeah. Well, they have two. They have the extension, and then they have the screenwriting program through the arts college, which is kind of the step up. And I got in, and I just did the math again, and I'm like, do I really need to spend all this money? I can just go you can do so much with that same amount of money. Why get an MBA for $150,000 if you want to start a vending machine business that would cost you a couple K to start?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so even I wanted to go, and I'll share something with you that I wouldn't normally share, but this past year I did look into getting my MBA, and I applied. I did the whole thing, and my GPA sucked at Berkeley because I was like, fuck that. So I got into the one I wanted, and then the second one I wanted, and all the ones I didn't care about all said no. Because for my essay, I wrote a comedic essay on why I think getting an MBA will ruin my life, and I'll end up wearing. So like, I was self-sabotaging the letter of being like, my fear is I'll end up wearing brown shoes Monday through Friday, So, but then my whole thing was how have a comedy brand, and that was what I'm trying to expand and this and that. So I used it. And then
they're not a bunch of jokesters over there, probably.
Yeah, but the bigger schools got it, and the ones that were like dickheads to me is like, you're local. And the thing is, I looked up their jobs because they work for the state and their salaries are out there. And I was like, oh my God, you make so little money to decide if you're going in. Like did you make $40,000 a year? And you're like, judge. So I already have the businesses, right? I'm already doing what I do. So I should be pretty much easy to let in. But it's like, I had to have a Zoom interview with like a teenager who obviously.
The teenager was the decider?
Like he had like Red Sox posters. There's obviously COVID, like we're at home sort of thing. So I did all that, and I got to the one that I wanted, that I could afford, and said, you know what? Spend the money. It'll be good for you. But then, and after all of those months of work and getting in, I was like, can't I just learn all this on YouTube again? Isn't everything on here available on my computer for free? And so, as you guys know, can we take that money and actually open a business versus buying another building for another multi-million-dollar tax-free corporation?
There's one thing though.
There's an inside job. So I'll lose. I'm losing money every day. So much money. I
think everyone's losing money.
Hemorrhaging. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the market. Oh my God.
You just keep getting.
Amazon crashed. Netflix crashed. Tesla's down from 12 to 750 in a matter of 30 days. Man, I wonder. I'm curious about 2023. Everybody's buying houses. House around the corner from me was listed for $1,050,000, and it closed for $1,200,000. So they went so much more over. It's a competition to get in, and that means a bubble. When people are paying 10, 15, 20% more just to get the loan before they raise the rate.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a thing. So I'm kind of worried the market's going to crash in 2023, but then some 12-year-old is, trading Bitcoin, and he has $1.7 billion in the bank, and it's all a lie.
I hear the crypto is down too. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, crypto is that's completely crashing out.
Good. I don't like it.
It's all a disaster. I'm worried about next year. I'm going to be honest with you. And then plus we have a re-election coming up. It's going to be a whole nother thing. It's going to be a delicious disaster.
I just filled out my ballot today.
Oh, you vote
an early
locally
bird.
for like the councilman, right? That's what the
Yeah,
is that-
that's next month. But
I didn't get mine.
It's 'cause
TikTok.
Speaking of TikToks,
Oh,
we're gonna start bringing in some Tiny Sim TikToks. Oh my God, you could not have found a better transition. Okay.
Yeah.
I buy the dip, it dip more. I buy again, it dip even more. Don't make me come visit you, Donny.
Okay, so this is a man yelling to. Okay, see, on TikTok, there are a lot of 19-year-old stock advisors, which they all copy and paste the same thing. And it's very, very important that you do not listen to any of these people.
yep.
This gentleman apparently listened to Donnie, and it did not go well. So that goes back
He
to.
kept losing and kept buying.
Well,
I guess that was
to
his
be
hedge.
honest with you, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't know. I was advised by somebody who's fancy pants to just hold. Obviously, you don't want to lose the inflation, but her advice as a fancy pants who was just, it's better to be prepared when you need it. Like if you're renting and you want to buy, and renting for another year won't be a loss if there's a 20% dip in the market, and then you can buy something. So
Yep.
Yeah, usually when it dips, that's the time to buy.
yeah.
People
I mean, a
start
lot-
unloading.
But he's right. It keeps dipping because everything's down 30-40%. So
Right.
You're like, oh, buy that 10. But I mean,
That's what happened to me in my
the
house.
stocks are,
Yeah.
Amazon is below what I bought it for. I bought it right when the pandemic started and popped it out.
You can do the gambling technique. It's like every time you lose, you just double your bet to try to make it back. So every time you're down,
You know
just
where McDonald's
double
at
how
back
much you
again?
buy. And then so if it ever goes back up, you're like, well, all right, then we're good.
Yeah, we make it up in quantity.
Yeah. It's like I've collected all these assets.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all worth shit.
Take a look at. Take a look at.
No.
Well, tell me a woman.
No.
Um,
Are they cleaning his teeth, or is that just where they live?
I got
That wasn't
questions,
Jeez,
but I don't know if I want answers.
Wow. His
Those are
dentist should be
maggots,
sending him a
correct?
happy
Go to-
birthday note.
Go to crest.com/UNT for a 5% coupon code off. They'll send it to you. No
Wow,
problem.
that's a mouthwash.
You need, that's a Listerine ad. If I've ever
yeah,
seen it.
brown Listerine, grandpa.
You definitely, that because you don't want to, brown Listerine. I hate to say it. That's the one to use.
Maybe that's when you start, using bleach. Is this where we use bleach?
Yeah, I
When are
would
we
use
supposed to
bleach.
use bleach?
You
You
get
put a
rid of
little
that
bleach in
and
water,
cure
you
COVID.
dilute it, and you. know.
Oh my god. Oh, that was pretty good.
Oh,
I mean,
No.
that's how he gets laid. That's his opener. He's like the peacock. Remember that guy from 2003 who wore big hats and was like teaching guys how to love on VH1? He's like,
Oh.
Yeah.
you wear Jamiroquai hats and you treat them like shit or whatever. Like that's
the
his
pickup artist.
peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pickup artist, right? He's that's his peacock,
Hey, that's using what you got
right? Make him
or what you
laugh.
don't have.
Panties drop as fast as they can when you make them laugh. Seth knows. He's a panty dropper. Panties have to
They
drop.
think I'm wearing this
Certified.
shit.
Yeah. Why the shirt's sole
Certified
purpose
fresh.
is to audition in panty drops.
Drept frate. O ce vrea să facă ăsta, frate?
You just gotta angle it. That's all you gotta
I
do.
Yeah.
do you understand
You probably
when
fit that in there.
when I go to Home Depot, this is what's happening. I see a lot of people trying to put wood on top of a Geo Metro that are
You probably see me there doing
welded back to front together. Now that is a callback. That is a deep callback.
that. Yeah.
What happens if it was two Geometros like
That's what it is.
right behind each other,
That's it.
and then the wood just like
That's what. Oh, yeah.
That's
and
what he
just
drives.
Put the wheels that way.
Yeah.
He gets
Yeah.
it. He
it
gets
just
it.
becomes a new vehicle. At that point, you have to leave it there.
But you knew going into the store you weren't going to make that work.
It could have been an impulse buy. Clearance
But
item.
Tetris wise, you know what you came in with. You know what
Yeah.
you drove in with.
But some
like
people
every-
don't, and those are the people that fuck up my day. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Get off the whatever the major freeway is in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Look it up. What's the freeway I should be bitching about instead?
Yeah, people notoriously don't have self-awareness and an awareness of like a certain situation. Like there's a group of people who will always be like, we'll make it
Like
work.
that girl I knew who
Oh yeah,
released
I-77,
the ending of Iron
I-95.
Man.
Do I-95. That sounds good.
I-95 is good.
I-95,
Yeah, 95
Get
takes
off
you
the
all the way up.
I-95. But yeah, she posted the morning the movie came out of like, if you were really a fan, you would know that this is the ending. And the hate. Oh my God. The hate. Are you flipping her off? Yeah.
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 That's for her.
Yeah, fuck her.
Well, the one spoiler.
But she's a little,
But people troll hard. Like she'd have to quit social media, essentially.
I think she did. She hung herself, Cliff. It's not funny.
Oh, God.
She
She hung herself out to dry.
hung herself
And then
out
she
to
came
dry
back.
with
She
a
came
rope.
back. She apologized.
All right.
And then she hung herself.
It's like that time that Black Dahlia gave me some fucking lip. Oh, yeah, bitch, I'll fucking cut
I'll
you.
teach you.
Weirdest quantum leap episode ever.
Yeah.
Please, leave
Like
again.
that bitch.
Quickly.
I went to that house. Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Is Timmy P here?
This is for you, Timmy P.
Speaking of birthday
Let's just keep the freeze frame for a
Yeah,
second.
because there's something's happening.
Now,
There's a lot of things happening.
I'm no Beverly Hills plastic surgeon, but is this natural?
See, that's why I'm saying they need a stopping point. Like, there's be like, yeah, we're not gonna do this anymore.
But
I have concerns.
Yeah,
I have
randomly
comments.
speaking.
She shouldn't
Yeah.
get tattoos.
Oh yeah, the tattoos.
Yeah.
Now, I have to be careful here because the lady listened to last week's show, the first one in like 2 months. I dated a woman with about 20% less, but still what was
Ample.
like an obscene amount. And they were smaller than this, but when we would go out, the men, you would just look, and I don't need to go down a story, but we had known each other for a long time, and then she became single, and the phone call happened, and the next thing I know, because okay, I'll make this quick. When I was in my 20s, I knew her.
Let him finish.
And when I was in my 20s, I knew her, and yeah, right, and we, she was obviously we would have hooked up or whatever, but she had a man, and then so like 14 years later, she separates, and then I got to see what the entire business organization was talking about because she would dress like a lady, but there was no hide. Like if you put her
you can hide
in
it.
like a black turtleneck, you're still going to be like. Anyway, so that was some fond memories there. But what do you guys like the lips and the chin implant? Do you like this kind of
Not at all.
plastic thing? Because people must like it in order for everyone to be getting it.
It's very Mr. Potato Head. The lips.
I do like Mr. Potato Head.
Don Rickles.
Yeah.
But no, not on this. Not on this.
I don't know if that's necessarily true if everyone likes it for people for
yes.
some of these people.
I think it's a certain type of person who gets it, which draws a certain type of crowd who likes it.
Well, she must work in the adult. Right? She didn't get those to keep those covered up, right? Those are.
Oh, right. It's
Yeah,
a
she's not a
business
certified public accountant in Woodland Hills. Like she's.
She might be.
You'd be surprised. I knew a lawyer that had pretty big breast implants.
This can go down the direction of the insecurities and self-image and how society fucks everyone up conversation, or
Nah, this conversation is about big tits. Go ahead and play it, Tim.
yeah. Play the video.
Yeah, no music.
He'll add music.
Oh.
Well, there they are.
Well, she'll never die in a car crash.
Oh, that face is.
So, okay.
Kind of looks like an alien.
Yeah. I like tattoos. Now, as like, I don't know if you call it a kink,
Yeah, I
but
don't care.
like I have dated women with full back sleeves. Not a back. That makes no sense. But you know what I mean? They've had,
Because they're
they've had their
on.
back and
Back panel.
they're completely covered. The back sleeve is, if you ever see a woman with a back sleeve, that's
You're
the
in trouble.
flaps.
Yeah.
She was a much larger woman who Nutrisystem her way and had flaps of tattoos.
Ah,
It was like old
chocolate fairy.
Japanese wood blocks as I would flip, moving along.
No, but those look uncomfortably big. Like it looks like you wouldn't be able to move around well. You'd be heavy. It hurt your back.
Oh,
yeah,
that-
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's-
not.
Yeah.
I don't.
Custom clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I mean, I don't. It's not for me. It's just. It's it's interesting. It's like the same thing where the women who cut their tongue in half, like the lizard people,
Yeah.
and they're taking all that stuff. Like,
That's
You
that
like
that could be fun.
oh,
I
tell
mean,
tell us
that is-
more.
All right.
Tell
That is
us
fun.
more. We're gonna go and sit back and
I-
relax.
I back when I was in New York, I dated this girl that had that.
A forked tongue?
She had a forked tongue,
I can't
and
believe
she
it.
was able to control
Yeah.
each part of it
Muscles,
separately,
yeah.
which was very
Skillful.
very interesting. It's very cool.
Got a twinkle
I would
in your
never
eye.
I would never do it. But it's
I'm
it's cool
envisioning
to
it.
experience on someone
It's
else.
not your penis.
Yeah. Like I like tattoos, I like piercings,
Yeah.
I like some body modification.
What do you think of the holes in the ear and the lip?
the
where they
gauges.
take the
Gauges?
entire-
Yeah.
yeah, and where they put the thing, they put the hole, they put the where like this, it's like
Oh,
it looks
the
like
plate?
a cigar cutter.
You don't see that as much. The plate.
Oh.
Well, the
Like you see the ears a lot. You
Outside
don't
of
see that
National
plate as
Geographic,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the rings.
you know what?
Don't
Can,
forget.
can we go ahead and pull up body modification? Let's go ahead.
Gauges get interesting because like with gauges, well, like any piercing is like they can get really fucking smelly.
Really?
And really strange. So it's like if you get the bigger gauges, eventually, like if you go back, you have to get your ear sewed
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
to
It-
re-close the hole.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an old
yeah,
man.
I mean-
it's not for me.
I look, I have nothing on. I have no piercings or tattoos.
Yeah, me either.
but-
That's probably why I like it. Cliff is.
But yeah, gauges can be cool.
Cliff's like a George Thorogood
wow.
song.
Oh,
Bad to the bone.
yeah, better boom.
Yeah,
these
I'm
are pretty
good with
extreme.
this stuff. There's a guy who
This is what
has-
comes up for modification. Wow, it goes extreme really quick.
there is a guy who I've seen online. in
Like
which-
how there's one tribal video or tribe like one actual
right here, yeah.
tribal like that's part of
That's
their
real,
culture,
yeah.
and then everyone else is just like
in Portland.
Where do you work when you have that kind of look?
Tech. You work with Seth.
You got to work with tech.
yeah, you work behind the
maybe
scenes.
that's why some people don't turn on their videos. What the side of the face one? The dude with the hole in the side of it. Oh my! I'm done.
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
no, that's
Oh,
what.
that
No,
one's,
and his tongue split. No, dude,
Yeah.
come on. Oh
What
my
was
God.
she trying to become on the left?
Oh, that's real?
No, but that's
She's
the
trying to
thing,
engage
that's the
her
thing in
third eye.
Japan. No, that's the thing in Japan. It's a weird beauty
Yeah.
thing that they do. That they put the Botox to make that shape.
Hey,
It's not for me.
it looks like Star Trek.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. TikTok. 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 God. No, thank you.
I think I need to go take a walk outside.
God.
Like just throw all my devices
That's
just
a
somewhere.
Smoke in Chesterfield. If you notice, I think he's in Amsterdam. He's got no shirt on.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh.
you're swimming.
It happens.
I like that
Okay.
there's a crowd of people that are just like, you might freeze to death.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost
no
killed
one ran
myself.
stick. Nothing.
I almost killed myself when I was
yeah.
12. I went swimming. We had a competition. We were way up in Canada, like way up, maybe 500 miles from the North Pole, like deep in Canada. And my cousin and I decided to have a swim competition from one rock to the other. But we got in the water, and the water was so cold that my body started like shutting down. And I, like, because you're going out full speed, and all of a sudden it's so cold that things could have ended very. We could have skipped all this shit.
Yeah, yeah. UNT wouldn't exist.
UNT wouldn't exist if I didn't make it back to shore.
That's a real Friday the 13th scare right there.
Or you could have
would've-
you could have had a frostbitten penis.
Now leave
That'd
this
be
on. Leave
worse.
this on. This doesn't even need to be played.
Oh, yeah.
Someone pointed out that Wolverine is simply two Batmans kissing, and now I can't unsee it.
I am.
Yeah, I saw this
am seeing
before,
two
and it
Batmans
is true.
kissing.
I see it.
I see it also.
It works. Hey, it's just if you have two Batmans becoming one Wolverine, that's just it's
This
just
is like
extra
some
awesome.
sort of weird you porn, like stepdad, like, oh, we're
Uh-oh.
twins and we're twin Batmans coming to kiss Wolverine. I don't know.
No, becoming Wolverine. By kissing. It's
kissing.
like Wonder Twin powers activate.
Boom.
Stan Lee was doing a lot of drugs. Was that the wrong guy?
Alfred's like, I'm off duty.
Alfred's like, your father hired me. Like,
I was cool with Batman.
You know what I mean? Like, and then they died. I felt like I should stick around, kind of keep the place dust free. The armory.
I'm retired. You can afford it, my man.
By the way, there's this unused Bat Cave.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go down there and play it all.
We could use that.
Check it out.
I don't know where Wolverines live, and I don't want to know.
They all live in a trailer. That's the thing. Starting with Martin Riggs all the way to Wolverine. These tough guys always live in some portable home that is like I can't even
on the run.
I can't even. My roots are so unsettled that I'm in a trailer hooked up to a car. Like
maybe when the MCU eventually gets to it, they'll bring Wolverine and he'll live in like Williamsburg and he'll have a beanie and like a really twirly mustache or something. Just really change it up.
That's pretty much what I look like in the wintertime. Better. Oh, this was me the other day at Target. I had a conversation with a young man. Yeah. Look, I'm not even joking. This was my life. Look, just taking his sweet time. No hurry. Okay.
Oh, that's a big mayonnaise.
Let me tell you what Walmart has done. They've gotten rid of all the registers and they've opened up 2 with these guys just to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Just because you had the balls to show up and buy their prices at retail without a bag. Oh, we can't give you a bag. We made $1 billion this quarter, but God forbid we use another bag.
Hey, y'all, we here. Advanced Auto Parts, Amador, New Iberia, the car wash for Niche Color Guard. We're here. Come see us. Get your car clean. Woo!
Okay. Now, I cannot wait for my blushing bride to see this because that is her hometown.
Oh, it is?
Just coincidentally, that is where she's from originally, and is kind of the reason she moved. So I love that just came across, and that's.
I gotta say, I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah, right.
And I kind of want to know, like,
I would get the car washed.
Was there new parts on sale? Was there like a promotion? He
just seemed like a guy who works at AutoZone.
No, they were not affiliated with anything they name dropped. They're just in the parking lot washing cars.
I think so, yeah.
They're just some psychopaths with mental disease that are just washing parked cars in the parking lot of the.
And he could maybe give somebody modification. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not shaming him.
He should modify his fucking teeth. Okay, why don't you go and get some Polydent? Now, if you go to thrift stores, they'll have dentures there. So just just Polydent on stuff.
I'm sorry, but whoever put this amount of cream cheese on this bagel from Dunkin', that you got the little bagussi going crazy. I love you.
Oh my God.
This is another episode of Unnecessary Talk with Brian Sturges, and I am that Brian Sturges. Follow me at Mr. Brian Sturges. Follow Cliff at Cliff Music at Black Cliff Beach. I forgot to post something for him this week. You'll figure it out at Tim Hall Music. Where's Josh Willis? Question mark. And join us at poorlifechoices.tv. And gentlemen, we'll see you next Tuesday. By the cup. I'll get the link working at some point.
Yeah. Are we doing a hazy at the end?
Oh yes, yes. And that, you know what? He doesn't always have hard drive space, but he knows how to remember an outro. Don't forget, coming at you is Hazy Fox from Vegas. Listen to his music, enjoy. You can follow him, and you can watch him YouTube Saturdays on his channel, which is posted below. Seth, thank you, man. Thank you for being here for this nonsense. I should have probably outroed you. We're not used to having guests. I gotta learn. I'm learning.
Yeah, he's gotta relearn. Yeah.
Cliff, you're amazing. Tim, buy another hard drive. See you, fellas.
Now, this is about the way the job lines up. Don't get the idea you can't handle those buggies just because they're big and they make a lot of noise. Take a look for yourself. Listen to that. That's enough to make a man nervous. Of course, there's one way you can get in trouble. Okay. That's what not to do. It takes good common sense, and it takes guts. Wait a minute, soldier. But he's mad now. See what he's got there? A Molotov cocktail. Okay, big stuff.
Everlasting symphony of what can our powers make me?
Okay.
An everlasting symphony of what can our powers make me?
It takes good common sense, and it takes guts. Big stuff. Just like you. It's there, brother. Big stuff. And last of all, get this. I guess I shouldn't be telling you this. Don't forget that. If you don't mind, I think I'll have another beer.